is the CEO of Savvy Matters, a consultancy firm where he helps marketers introduce technology into their ecosystem. But importantly, Shiv was a marketer first. He spent decade plus as a CMO for leading companies like LendingTree, Expedia, and others. So we figured, who better to talk about AI and how it's coming to the marketer than an actual practitioner and not just investment banker. So Shiv's got a deck. I'm going to welcome up and let him use the time accordingly. Thanks, Shiv.
Everyone, firstly, congratulations on the Knicks win last night. I am a deeply committed Warriors fan, so I'm feeling bruised, but we won't talk about that right now. Okay, so I'm going to talk about AI agents and the future workforce of marketing. A bit about me. I'm a co-founder of AI Trailblazers. I was the CMO of LendingTree. That little book over there is my third book. It came out at the end of last year. I spent a year and a half writing it and deeply researched, talking to hundreds of marketers and AI technologists as I put that thing together. And what I'm going to share today reflects some of those learnings and literally what happened in the last week. Because in the AI world, every week is sort of like a new year for everyone else. Okay, so I'm going to share 12 ideas, and I'm just going to jump right into it. So first and foremost, I like to start with this quote from Mark Benioff. Artificial intelligence and generative AI may be the most important technology of any lifetime. Emphasis is on the word any. And you could take anyone who's deep in this space, and they're probably having nightmares. I have nightmares every night because I read, I study, I talk to a lot of marketers, I advise a lot of folks. So much change is headed our way. I would say to the extent, and you probably think I'm just a massive, crazy, stupid hype machine now, but hopefully after the next 10 minutes you'll feel differently, that a year from now or 2 years from now, there will be fewer of us in this room. Fewer of us will be needed. Now, we don't want to believe that, but that is probably true. And so I'm going to talk about AI agents and why that's the case. But before that, I'd like to talk about what was considered the greatest race of all time. So those of you who are into rowing know that it is probably one of the most complex, hardest, human efforts. It's considered the hardest sport. It's endurance, it's skill, it's passion, it's collaboration and teamwork of a scale one never really sees ever or anywhere. Back in 2003, the Oxford-Cambridge rowing race. It was an 8+ race. This is a race that has been going on since 1829, except during World War II, World War I, and COVID. Every year this race happens. Highly competitive. On the boat, you have what's considered 8+. You have the coxswain who gives directions and shouts and encourages the team. You have 2 folks on the stern. They set the flow and the rhythm of the boat. You have what's then called the engine room, 4 people who are really rowing hard. Behind them, you have the bow rowers who watch for balance. And they compete aggressively. This race is a 3.4-mile race. Super competitive, known around the world. In 2003, Oxford won by 1 foot, 0.05 seconds. Why am I saying this? Why are we talking about this stupid race right now in such a different world? Because in each of your worlds, in each of your companies, in every brand marketer's mind, in every agency leader's mind, they're wondering, in the boat of their world, will all 8 be human beings in the future? Will it only be the coxswain? Will it only be the engine room? Will it be those stern rowers? Who will it be? And that is probably the most important question for anyone in the marketing ecosystem today. If you're not already thinking and struggling with that question, you might be a little bit behind the times. Why is this a big deal? I live in the Bay Area. I can tell you, it's a very different world out there. It's all about vibe coding. But before that, let me talk about something else. In the AI world, AI established in 1955 at Dartmouth University, professors came together. And it's been around for a long time, and it's had its winters. It's taken a lot of different shapes and forms. But it's always, at least since 2022, with ChatGPT, it's been about words. We think about it as words, or maybe with a little bit of imaging and size adjustments, stupid small stuff like that. Our lives, our business world is all about action. 90% of the human work we do is about taking action. That is what's changing with AI now and with the agentic AI world. Let's talk about that. So in the Bay Area, everyone's talking about vibe coding, which is this whole idea that everyone in the world can actually become a coder. That all it takes is to know how to speak English, and you can actually, using natural language, write an app and launch it and run it as a business. I have a 16 and a 14-year-old. I went through a whole STEM phase with them. I was like, dudes, we got to code. I'm going to teach you code. It was the biggest mistake or parenting failure in my life. They don't need to code anymore because vibe coding is where everyone can literally code using English language. What's changing is we're now entering a world of vibe marketing where every marketer is no more a specialist. They're a specialist and a generalist at once. They can cover a lot of different roles, a lot of different tasks, a lot of different activities. That performance marketer can also be a creative. That insights person can also be a data analyst. At LendingTree, I ran a team of 200 marketers. It felt like on some days, 200 specializations. All of that is on the cusp of changing. What it also means is we can do so much more with less. And we're already seeing it in the value with these companies. When you look at how quickly they're getting to 100 million ARR with much fewer and fewer people every month and every week. The question I have for you is that happening in the marketing world fast enough? Are we driving that change as well? If we aren't, someone else will for us. Next thought. So what does this mean? We need to embrace this era of AI agents. These AI agents perform complex tasks. They operate autonomously. They're able to interact with other human beings and other systems. They can take many shapes and forms. Yes, in some cases, physical forms as humanoids as well. And they learn and improve over time. They have memory. Super, super important. But they're not little technical things. They're partners. They're thought partners. They're on the same plane as us. And it's horribly frightening and exciting at the same time. So if you're having those emotions, completely understandable. So what does this translate into? So let me take you on a journey of how we've gotten here. So first and foremost, we had the LLMs, ChatGPT, first in 2019, and 2022 it entered the mainstream. And it was really about helping you write emails, helping you write content, search and retrieval at the most basic level. You then had the LLMs plus decision guidance, where logic was added to it, and it was able to write, but also with a layer of logic. And a lot of our ad tools, and Sean talked about this earlier, they've had that type of AI integrated into them for a very long time. In the next phase, it started to, and this is what we've been seeing in the last year or two, is have tribal codification. What that means is when you have humans on the loop, or in the loop, or with the loop, where the way a business works, its tribal knowledge, its processes, get integrated and learned by the AI, so it becomes a lot more informed and smart in the decisions it's making with us. The fourth stage, which is where we're on the cusp of, is AI agents, where these folks run and operate autonomously without us. They are smarter than us, they understand the way we think, the way we operate, they know how our businesses run, and they bring it all together, and they take multiple steps and many decisions all at once. So that's the transformation we're on. Different companies, different brands, different technologies, different ad tech firms are using AI in different stages in this fashion. Okay, let's talk about some no-code, low-code AI agents. Enough theory for the moment. Let me show you this video first. Okay, so this is Manus. How many of you are familiar with Manus? Raise your hands. Okay, 2 or 3. Again, out of China, I know that's a bad word, but back in March, Manus launched. Go to manus.ai, and it's a family of AI agents. And in this clip, in real time, and you can go and play with this. It'll cost you $20 a month. If you don't have that $20, I'll pay for it. But what it's doing is, it was asked a simple question. Go and do an SEO analysis of Andre Katapi's website. Simple SEO analysis. I can tell you, and I say this with embarrassment, I've paid sometimes $50,000 for this piece of work. in one occasion, well over $100,000 to an agency to do an SEO analysis of a website. In a matter of minutes, in real time in front of me, it's doing a full SEO analysis. It's providing recommendations, it's doing the front-end analysis as well as the technical analysis. All of that. Is it perfect? No. Is it pretty strong? Yes. Is it cheaper than $50,000? Yes. It was $20 a month, and I could run any number of them. That is the freaking world we're entering. And it's here, it's now, it exists. So now you know why I have my nightmares. OK, a next thought. Let's look at in-house custom-built agents. Let's play this video, and hopefully the audio will work too.
For too long, greatness has been defined by the grind, the relentless pursuit. Pain is power. Struggle is strength. Play has no place in sport. But at Puma, we've always done things differently, championing the fearless few who show up exactly as they are. Unapologetically authentic, joyful pioneers. Those who know that greatness is measured by the courage to play your own way. Your story makes you strong. Your journey is yours to define. Move the world like only you can, because greatness is in your nature.
This wonderful piece of creative performed above average on creative benchmarks. It was created, in theory, by the folks at Media Monks, by Monk Foundry. They use the NVIDIA Omniverse platform and a few others. Took 5 weeks, as you saw. Hundreds of AI agents, very, very few people. You'd literally have armies of agents writing a script, another set of agents as judges evaluating and choosing the best script, the next set of agents storyboarding it, a third set evaluating the best storyboards, and in that fashion going through the entire creative process. Very few people. Hundreds of agents. Think about that rowing boat example. The human being was really just the coxswain, just shouting orders and directions, nothing else. This is not about just adjusting format sizes or getting better copy. This is a dramatic change. I spoke to the team about this, and they were very coy. They didn't tell me how much it costs to make. But what I know for certain, much, much less than any traditional ad. OK, so in-house custom agents coming our way, some built by brands, some built by the agencies, some in other places. Adobe, for example, at the annual summit, they announced a series of agents. Two that stood out to me was an audience agent that looks at your website behavior, creates a real-time audience based on the behavior, and then goes and runs and executes marketing for you in real time. The other one that was pretty cool was the A/B testing agent. It spends the days clicking through your website, finds a problem, recommends a fix, and starts running its own A/B tests for you. I don't know about you, but that's pretty cool, and again, pretty frightening at the same time.
Hi,
this is
I'm
an
Sasha
example from a special
and
startup.
Today I'll show how
I just want to show you
Agent
this for
operating
30
system
seconds.
to create and launch new ad campaigns
So you can see
effortlessly.
what happens behind the scenes a bit.
In this example, we're creating new Instagram and Facebook ad campaigns targeting women. We want to keep the same shoe style as our previous campaign assets, but update the model and visuals to reflect an asset geared towards women. All this is possible within a custom Slack channel. Let's take a look under the hood. First, the Task Manager agent outlines the goals and necessary tasks for the other agents. Next, the data analyst pulls key insights from our previous campaign asset library, like impressions, clicks, and other metrics. Then, the creative analyst agent uses those insights to draft a new design brief and generate a suitable tagline. The asset retrieval agent sources the necessary prior campaign images.
You get the idea. In that example, there wasn't even a human being on the boat. It went through the entire process on its own. And that's, again, exciting and frightening. And creation, ad running, media buying, and optimization, all of that is moving in this direction. Personal agents scurrying across the web, we're going to see a lot more of this. I did this a couple of weeks ago. I wanted to find a restaurant to have dinner with a friend. This was when I was in Austin, Texas. It went through the process pretty well. Early this morning, I was like, is it still working well? And I was using Manus again. And I said, help me find a restaurant for 2 and make a reservation for tonight here in New York. I like Indian food, big surprise. And it went and found a restaurant. It found Bungalow. And it was like, do you want me to go ahead and make a reservation? They have availability at 8 p.m. All done for me in a matter of minutes. Some last thoughts to share. This is a complex world, and there are all kinds of providers in it. It starts with the large language models. They're launching AI agents, a lot on the software development side, but it's stretching across everywhere else. So that's what OpenAI, Claude, and Gemini are doing. You have the enterprise platforms launching AI agents. I gave you the example of Adobe, but of course, from Salesforce and the others, both built into their platforms and elsewhere, a lot of AI agent functionality. You have the specialist startups, the Jaspers. Upscale just raised a seed round. What they do is super interesting. They create video ads, performance marketing video ads, and run them automatically for you, all done by AI agents. And we're going to see a lot more companies like that. Another example is, I don't know if the folks from MIQ are here. They gave me a sneak peek of their platform that they're launching in a couple of weeks, a new platform. What it allows for, mind-blowing. Quite simply, all of a sudden, a single media manager or media planner can run 30 campaigns at once instead of 1 at a time, and see twice or thrice the level of performance, both because of speed, efficiency, and efficacy, using AI agents built into the platform. And there are many other examples like this, different roles for different types of companies. What are they for? You see it for brand guidelines and compliance monitoring. You see it for content creation and personalization. You see it for conversational agents for sales and services. You see it for marketing campaign orchestration, which is a very big area for all of us in this room. You see it for real-time research and insights, a huge category in of its own worth investing in. And then, of course, you see it for website and landing page builders. Back in 1995, I built my own website. I was super proud of it. No one is ever going to need to build a website again. And in fact, you have no-code AI agent building tools as well. OK, so where does this leave us? A few takeaways. First and foremost, we are on the cusp of dramatic change. This is not like the mobile phone or even the dawn of the internet. It is something far greater, far bigger. If you don't believe me, ping me and I can send you a whole bunch of research-based articles on it. 2, or send you my book. 2, I had to throw that in. The right AI agents in the right hands for the right purpose is going to drive the transformation. 3, every job, every activity, and every task is on the cusp of changing. 4, leaders will have an existentialist choice. Incorporate AI agents or get replaced. The co-founder of Anthropic just this morning said, we're all going to turn into nerd managers. And what he meant by that is managers whose jobs will be to manage AI agents as much as it will be to manage human beings. And we may have AI agents as our bosses. And we'll have new responsibilities to our teams, to our companies, and also to the AI agents in this era. Thank you very much.